What's going on, everybody? Welcome back again to Investing Pros, the most generous crypto YouTube channel out there.
So looking at the Wednesday, May 31st, the final day of May today, we got JOLTS job openings that'll be coming in at 8 a.m. my time. That's about an hour right at the end of this show. That is going to be telling you all of the non-farm jobs that are open in America, okay? We're also going to be getting into several speeches today. I'm not sure what these guys are going to be talking about, but I have a feeling it's going to lean towards rate hikes because that's what it's looking like we're going to see. Looking at tomorrow, we got ISM manufacturing PMI coming in, the non-farm productivity, initial jobless claims. And then Friday is going to be a non-farm payroll and unemployment rate. That's the big one that I'm watching for this week after the JOLTS job opening report today. Check out the Trueflation. Trueflation coming up a little bit. We're starting to see that PCE and everything take effect here on Trueflation's data report, and they are saying it is up 607%. We're back to 2.91, still coming in under 3%. Look at the liquidations, guys, for the 24-hour period. $22 million in liquidations on Bitcoin in the past 24 hours. 19.5 million of those on longs. So not looking pretty there at all. $18 million worth of liquidations on ETH, and a majority of those happening on Binance. Wah wah.
14 days, 2 weeks from today, we're going to get our next FOMC meeting. I told you guys before, I didn't think that they're going to be crazy in terms of price action. We'll have to see about this one because everyone assumed that the rates were done being raised. Well, it's looking pretty solid. The predictive tool here on CMA Future is saying 62.9% are saying we're going to get one more 25 basis point rate hike. Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index this morning sitting at 51, as we discussed yesterday. If we're looking over the last 7 days, it's borderline a straight line. Big thing happened last night. We did end up losing some levels of support. Some of you guys know I talked about there was a chance that 27.4 got revisited over on Twitter a couple days ago. Well, not only did we revisit 27.4, we actually ended up breaking it, and that was this rising level of support. Go back down to the 4-hour chart just to see this a little better. There's actually a lot of levels of confluence that we're seeing here. First of all, this you guys are going to notice right here, it's kind of revised with the new updates that Sharp Prime had done to it. With the Market Dynamics Pro, this is what we have right here, order blocks, and I have it offset on macro here. This just tells you where there is liquidity. Great way to see some support, some resistance, but you guys can see right here, it says it's very, very high. I am aware that down here, we have an order block at about 26,450 or so that could look enticing. We also, when pulling up our Fibonacci from this little low we had back on May 24th up to this more recent peak, you guys are going to see that if we were to come down here, golden pocket just a little bit above, you're going to see the platinum pocket kind of touches right where we have that order block. But if we were to come down here and touch this golden pocket, 26,800, guess what that would do? That sure enough would fill our gap right here. And again, not that we have to come down and kiss this perfectly. We absolutely could come down. However, do not be surprised to see us go ahead and drop down at least to this golden pocket here, 26,800, give or take, and then potentially keep your eye out for a touch of the platinum pocket and a filling of this order block down here. This would be down at 26,400. I told you guys yesterday, we are in a falling trading channel. We've had our fifth wave. A breakout is coming here very soon. The question is, when could we potentially see the price of Bitcoin come down, touch this order block, and then get our breakthrough? And look, we have another order block sitting up here at about 31,000. Like I said, these kind of work as magnets. It's not absolute. They don't have to touch these order blocks, but you're going to find a lot of times they do. And so that's something that I am keeping my eyes on after we've had this fifth wave now.
Looking at Ethereum on the 4-hour here, we did get a break up on Sunday, and it led us up to the golden top of this trade range here of the predictive ranges here. There's your top, there's your bottom, there's your delta line, right? What I want to show you guys is that we did have on the RSI primed that Tim was telling you about, it gave us an engulfing on this candle here and said it's going down. So that's what happened there, just like we had the engulfing here that said, hey, this is the bottom and we're going up. Once we got the pullback here, we came back to a breaker block. What this breaker block is a former order block that has lost a lot of its liquidity, and so it's not even registering as low. It is now a breaker block because it has been broken. The prime ranges here, these run in line, and they're a lot like the predictive ranges, but they follow the trend, and that is actually where we rejected at. We're hitting the prime assistant. This is telling you that, hey, a lot of times when we have these runs, like right here on the trend-based indicators, it will reject and find support or find resistance on these lines. What we're doing right now is testing that prime assistant on this trend off of this buy indicator here. We did get the reversal, but now it looks like we're finding support. We're hitting right now that prime assistant. We hit a prime range. We hit a breaker block. What I'm seeing on the money flow trend says we're still coming down, getting really fat volume in there coming in off the volume indicator. Still looks like we do have a little bit of downside. Of course, this downside could all cool off with the ranging here somewhere along this. But looking at it here now, guys, I saw that it was going to be coming up to the top of my platinum pocket there. And when that happened, I said, it's time to go. Also, I got out because you see this little purple tick mark. That is a take profit check mark that says we're starting to lose the run on this buy indicator. So I went ahead and took profit out, closed it out right at somewhere right in here after it rejected off of the platinum pocket there. And now we got our bounce of support off of the bottom of the platinum pocket. So we'll see what happens there. What I do think is going to happen is that we're going to try to consolidate in the platinum pocket here on XRP. I am going to be watching down here because you've seen that we can come up and get these bounces on the top, the 70% line of the RSI primed. That's where we are right now again. So we might consolidate on here just like we did here in this area and then take off again. Giveaway alert. Chart Prime has just launched a brand new Pro Suite. They are giving away 5 quarterly subscriptions. And all you have to do is like and retweet this post, tag a friend, and you must follow Chart Prime. So you got to be following Chart Prime on Twitter, tag a friend, like and retweet the post.
Bybit announces exit from the Canadian market. So if you are a Canadian and you really like Bybit, perhaps consider using a different one. In fact, we actually have just partnered with an exchange called Pionex, and there is a link for that in the description. And we're going to have a lot more information on that coming very soon. But yeah, so that's unfortunate. Canadians suffered a loss of exchange a couple of weeks ago when Binance pulled out, and now Bybit is doing the same. I thought I'd bring this to you guys very quickly. There's been a drone attack on Russian oil refineries, and there's been some escalatory language. Medvedev calls UK Russia's eternal enemy, says British officials aiding Ukraine can be legitimate targets, military targets. So that's very, very problematic for obvious reasons. And then Medvedev was responding to the UK's Foreign Secretary James Cleverly's comment that Ukraine has the right to use force beyond its borders. So famously, the Ukraine has announced that it is ready for an offensive, meaning it's not just going to be on the defense anymore. Trying to protect its civilians and trying to stave off the Russian forces. It's actually going to go on the offensive, and it has done just that with this headline here of drone strikes on Russian oil refineries. Escalatory there, guys, is the takeaway.
Wow, you made it to the end of the video. Great job. Now, if you want more content like this, whether it be TA on Bitcoin and Ethereum or altcoins, or you just want to stay up to date on the latest and greatest news in crypto, then stay tuned and tune in to our 9 a.m. live show every single weekday morning. It's 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And when you tune in live, use the keyword grip strength in the chat, and you'll get a special shout out from anyone who's paying attention to the chat. Love to see you there.